I'll go ahead and tell you about the first time. First time they tried to rip me off, and I talked them into a corner and made them give me my money back, which they tried to keep. Okay. First time, I was trading dividends, buying the up and down contracts as they have them listed. And in the middle of trading, not at a scheduled update time, there was no warning, their system crashed. Their system went down, and I was unable to sell my contracts at a profit. Their network crashed. They admitted to it and said, sorry, we're experiencing technical difficulties. Well, it's because of those technical difficulties I couldn't sell my contract and make that profit. Instead, the order went in, it sat there, and as soon as their system came back up, it sold at a loss. So, no. That was not my problem. That was your problem. And you could plainly see the attempt to sell. So I got into the chat with support, and first thing they said is, we apologize for the convenience. One of our computers went down. I said, okay. So I screenshotted all that. And then after about, a month of them researching my account, basically just pushing me off and hoping that I'll just forget about it, right? We're talking about $700 that I would have lost. That, while I was waiting, was stuck in limbo. They came back into the chat after me fighting with them, and they tried to say there was no liquidity in the market. To which I replied with, here's screenshots of y'all admitting it, that was your fault. Give me my money. So then they tried to throw in a bunch of technical jargon, BS, as if I was stupid. They completely misrepresented how liquidity works. I don't remember exactly what they said, but it was the biggest load of BS. They thought that I was some kind of moron that wouldn't know better. So after I corrected them, then they finally gave me the $700 back that they owed me. That was the first time that I had a problem with crypto.com. And it was not the last, which is still going on, I might add. Then after that, I don't know all the details, but they did something similar with my son to the tune of about $5,000. They strung him along on the in the support chat for over a year, and then closed his case because he hadn't logged in. He gave up. So they closed his case after he hadn't been in the app in a few months, and then he couldn't do anything about it. His account was closed because there was also no money in it. They went and closed his account. So now, boom, no record. Okay. Now, my most recent. Crypto.com has some membership tiers that you can pay monthly for. The Plus tier, I think, is the first one. And that's the one I signed up for. And one of the perks of being in that Plus tier was that there were zero fees, zero trading fees for anything for the first $20,000 you spend every month. Okay? Well, they're also supposed to give cash back when you use your card. Well, for starters, I didn't get any of the cash back for about $5,000 worth of purchases with my card. But that's not the big issue here. The big issue here was that they started charging me fees after the first $10,000. And I spent about $50,000. I sold my house, and that was all of the money that I had. So, well, not all of it, but that was the majority of the money that I put into there was proceeds from the house. I dumped a bunch into Bitcoin, and I was going to play some contracts, make some money. But yeah, they started charging me fees after the first $10,000 worth of trading that I spent in the month. And then when the second month came up, they were still charging me fees. They didn't even reset it back to give me the first 10,000. So upon contacting support, and it's been since middle of December now, they're still researching. Every time I talk to them, we're still looking into it. Yeah, BS. Complete BS. So I had about $6,000 worth of pending deposits, so I canceled them. And now I technically owe them $6,000, but they owe me about $4,000 in fees. So they're not going to get theirs unless I get mine. I have some holdings in my account, but I've got them in staking pools, and they cannot touch it while it's in staking pools. So I will leave it there and hold it hostage. I told these people that. I even sent them a link to a little short that I made describing this whole thing. I didn't go into as much detail in that short, but then I sent that link to them in the chat. And they have had nothing to say. Soon after I submitted that video in the chat, they seemed to give a little bit more of a damn, but then nothing has changed. They're trying to wait me out, so I give up, and then they'll just take my money. But crypto.com owes me thousands. I don't know how much it is, but it's a lot. It was about $50,000 of trades worth of fees. Because I stayed in that window of $20,000 per month. I only put in about 25,000 maybe. So there are some of those fees that were legit. But the plus tier clearly states 0 fees on anything for the first $20,000 you spend every month. And after $10,000, they started charging me. And then when the next month came around, they didn't even reset it. And they continued to charge me. And when I bring it up, they tell me, what's the model of your phone? Please try to reset your phone and uninstall the app and reinstall that. No. I told them in the chat, I'm not stupid. It's not an app issue. It's a you issue. Yeah, I've been very, very sarcastic with them. At first, I stayed professional because you want to try and stay professional when you're trying to get somebody to cough up money they owe you. But at a certain point, they pissed me off. So that's when I started threatening them to make a video for all my followers. So I'd really appreciate it if you shared this message with anybody you know that uses crypto.com. They will rip you off if you ever have any issues. They will string you along, put you in a chat, and not respond for, in the case of my son, an entire year. A year. For a year, they said, we're still researching. Bulls S. So I'm calling you out, crypto.com. Crypto.com are thieves. They are criminal. They do not care about situations where they're in the wrong. They have no interest in doing the right thing and giving you back the money that they owe you, if they ever technically owe you money. So you better be able to prove it hardcore. And even then, yeah, they've pretty much given me the finger.